Oh mon dear. Oh my god. I took a nap. I feel like my hair is a little crazy now. I mean, it's always crazy, but it's a little crazier than usual. But like, is it really? Let's get started. Do you guys like my lipstick today? Is it just me, or does anybody else find lipstick stains to be a little bit gross? I'm sending the thought into the universe. Turn off the AC or the air. Turn off, please. Is it cold or hot? Because it's hot already. Oh, it's like hot air. Why? Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can tell by the title, today I'm going to be talking about some tricks that I have kind of experimented with that I found that really help me stay focused on my work. Right before we get into the video, I do just want to ask you guys to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be notified about future videos that I will be making. Be sure to also hit the like button because it really does support my channel. Comment down below if you have any tricks that you find help you stay focused while you work that aren't listed in today's video. And lastly, be sure to follow me on all of my social media. They are always the pinned comment in the comments as well as in the description box below. So like I said, since starting this channel, I've been looking for ways to help me stay focused while I work. I have a really bad habit of checking my social media as a break from work every 5 minutes. And I also tend to get really distracted by noise and talking, whether it's my neighbors over here just outside my window, or if my grandma is watching a TV show or a movie that I'm listening in on. Now I could list a ton of other reasons why I get distracted, such as like me being hungry or thinking that I am because I'm bored, my room or my desk being a little bit messy because I do have a very small bedroom and it doubles as my sleeping and my workspace, as well as constantly checking the time to see how long I've been working for. Being like overwhelmed by what stuff I have to get done, or just being like physically uncomfortable because of, say, the clothes that I'm wearing, or maybe I have really tight muscles from sitting in my chair all day. This list could truly go on forever, and I keep flipping my hair. I'm so sorry if it changes every shot. This list could truly go on forever, and it does, because if I'm jumping between all of my little distractions, I never get what I need done. And then the result of all of these little distractions is that I end up having to get my work done at the very last minute, which is not super ideal because I'm trying to get ahead of my upload schedule, which is every Tuesday at around 10 a.m., just to let you know. So this last minute thing is really not working for me. This one that keeps falling in my face is making me so mad. I get it, my curls have fallen. Now the following tricks that I use to keep me focused are all just my own experiments. These may not work for you, but hopefully at least one does. So the first trick that came to mind when I was brainstorming for this video was listening to ambient sounds or ambient music. Specifically for me, library sounds. Like I said before, I get distracted very easily by noise and sounds, especially when it's like when I really need to be focusing. I find that library sounds in particular really put me in like work mode, and I'm pretty sure that I have read somewhere that you associate certain things, I don't really know how to explain this, but when you do something repetitively while, say, you're working or you're cleaning, as soon as you hear that or do that or whatever, it makes you think, oh, it's work mode. Like it's like a switch in your brain that turns you into work mode. I also find it very calming and relaxing because it's like you feel like you're in a library where everybody around you is doing work, really focused. That's the whole vibe of a library for me anyways. And it also helps that I can keep track of how long I've been working because the library sounds that I do listen to are about 1 hour long. So as soon as the library sounds are over, I'm like, oh my god, it's already been an hour of me working. That's awesome. Now this has been a pretty recent thing that just minimizes my distractions for me. So I typically listen to the ambient sounds through my headphones if I'm doing some brainstorming for videos for YouTube, but if I'm actually like editing the video, I'll play it on my Google Home. Now I knew that there was some kind of science behind this. I couldn't figure out where I had heard it or what, so I did a little bit of searching and I came across this article, which I will link down below, but it basically states that there are research studies dating as far back as 1972 have found that playing background music during repetitive work has significantly increased productivity. It also states that more recent studies have shown, it's already hot in here. Why is the furnace coming on? Okay, so it should turn off eventually. The article also states that more recent studies have actually explained how this works. So if you're interested in learning how ambient sounds helps to keep people productive and helps them concentrate, it'll be in the description box below. Google, set a reminder at 2 a.m. to turn the furnace back on. The second trick I kind of got from my sister, but I was feeling really overwhelmed by the B-roll that I had to film for one of my earlier videos, as well as just making sure I wasn't gonna forget. And she recommended that I made a to-do list. So I find that they really help me feel prepared the night before a big filming day. They take like less than 5 minutes to write out. I don't have to worry about forgetting any of the work that I need to do. And checking things off the list is actually proven to cause a release of dopamine in the body, in your brain, stating how checking off things on your to-do list releases dopamine. All of these articles will be linked in the description box. This article does state, when we experience a small amount of success, our brains release dopamine, which is connected to the feeling of pleasure, learning, and motivation. So when we feel the effects of that dopamine, we're eager to repeat the action that caused that dopamine hit. Now my third trick is something that I don't always do, but it does definitely help a bit when I do it, which is cleaning my workspace / room. Like I said, my room is very small, so it's very easy for it to get cluttered. Simply just making my bed and clearing the clutter off of my desk are very effective in minimizing distractions for me. Now the reason that I say that I don't always do this is because during the process of me working, I usually end up cluttering up my desk anyways, which does bring me to my next trick, which is snacks and drinks. Hunger and or boredom are really big distractions for me, so instead of constantly thinking about food or getting up and checking the fridge over and over and over again, I just bring snacks to me. They don't have to be healthy. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not, but I grab, what I'm in the mood for. I keep it at my desk and I work, I munch. I usually have a tea or a coffee, and depending on the weather, it's either hot or cold. I always have to have water with me because I find that I get very thirsty when I'm working. I'm a thirsty bitch. But it's also just good for me to have water around me at all times, or else I forget to drink it. Now I do want to try matcha, so if you guys have any recommendations for good matcha, please let me know in the comments below. So relating this point to my last point, at the end of my workday, typically my desk is quite cluttered from like food wrappers, bags of chips. I'm a big fan of nuts, and I find that I don't eat them often enough, so I like to eat them while I'm working. I'm a big sucker for raw Mr. Noodles. I can't have them cooked because the monosodium glutamate really affects me. I'm like a really big sucker for raw Mr. Noodles, which I can imagine is not very good for you, but I'm not here to tell you about being healthy. I'm here to tell you about things that help me focus. So eventually I will get to a point where I just cannot sit still any longer, so I'll usually get up, go have a chat with my grandma, watch whatever TV show or movie she's watching. And something that I would like to really incorporate more into my breaks and just actually my daily routine is stretching. So I actually am going to be making a 7-day challenge on stretching every day for 7 days eventually, so look out for that. Be sure to hit notification bell if you're interested in a video like that. Another thing that I usually do while I'm taking my break is meditate. It is proven to help you concentrate and stay focused. That is actually like the whole point of the book that I'm currently reading, which is called, Mind Hacking. I'm not quite done it yet. I'm just under halfway, so I really am enjoying it, but I do have a plan of making a video about books that I really like, whether they're about like self-care, self-help, or just, improving yourself. Plus, meditation is such an incredible form of self-care. It's always beneficial to incorporate it into your day. And another thing that I like to do during my breaks is cuddle and play with my pup. I'll throw his ball for him so he can fetch throughout the house. So sorry. I might take him for a WALK. Now, if you're having a day where you just cannot for the life of you focus on your work, you have no desire to get any work done, one of the tricks that I use, which again was something that kind of my sister introduced me to, was setting a timer. Typically for me, I set a timer anywhere between 15 minutes and an hour. 15 minutes is for days that are just rough. Like I'm, having a bad mental health day, lots going on in my personal life that you guys aren't super aware of. I'll force myself to work for 15 minutes, set the timer, and go from there. For days where I'm just lazy, I'll usually set an alarm for an hour. Typically, once the timer goes off, I am like already in the zone, so I'll continue working, but sometimes I'm not. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. I tap out for the day or tap out for the time being. Don't shame yourself for that. If you have the flexibility to take some time, do some acts of self-care, because your work is always going to be better when you're in a good headspace. And my last tip is that if you have the flexibility to wear what you want for work, try to avoid PJs, as tempting as it is to just get up and start working in your pajamas. It's not super ideal. Try to avoid tight and restrictive clothing. In my opinion, comfy day clothes are just the best to work in by far, but also no need to make yourself suffer by wearing like super tight, uncomfortable, restrictive, professional, or fancy work clothes. Unless you want to, then by all means, do what you want. You do you. I usually aim for cozy, comfy, layered clothing. Layered specifically because my temperature tends to fluctuate. I run cold most of the time, so I like to have a shirt that kind of goes over my shoulders and covers my arms. And maybe sometimes I'll add some fun accessories to make me feel like a boss. And a lot of times I'll choose my body chain, which I actually made in a previous video, which I'll link up here or up here. I think it's this side. Any kind of accessory or anything to add to your outfit that makes you feel like a boss and a badass, rock it if you have the flexibility to do so. I definitely still have days where I just like cannot focus, even if my life depended on it. But these are just a few tricks that I have personally found to really benefit me. If any of them were new to you, like I didn't really realize that the ambient sound thing was a thing, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Hit the like button because like I said, it really does support my channel. Comment down below any tricks that you find help you. And again, be sure to also follow me on social media. They're always pinned in the comments section below. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Am I done? I love being done.